So we are at the very first episode of season 5 of The Chi. Girl, it was so much going on. We got to talk about it. Cue the music. Oh yes, bitches and hoes. I'm back.
I drop a player like it's nothing, it ain't working out. Now no debate or fuck discussion, bitch, I'm walking out. My time is money, I ain't loving, let you toast it out. Flip my weave and walk it out. Look how I just bossed it out. Now come on, baby, why you bugging? We can't talk it out. I keeps it moving, I ain't tripping, lost another spouse. I'm just a boss, it's in my blood, no, I won't scream or shout. Grabbing my keys.
Cause oh yes, bitches and hoes, I'm back. Back with another video. We here to discuss The Chi. Listen, I've been watching this show since season 1. This is my first time reviewing it. I'm super excited. I love the evolution of the characters and where it's going. Because, you know, sometimes when you have a show that's been on for so long, it kind of gets a little like, okay, now what? It gets very mundane. But not this one, baby. We got to get into it. So the episode opens up. Keisha and Emmett is in the bed smashing. And I go, what? Now, we know that they had a thing back in the day, you know what I mean? But they not like that now. And I'm thinking, why is Keisha smashing on Emmett? And then also, where the hell is Tiff? Why you smashing on that girl's husband? I know they got the open marriage and whatnot, but ain't they cool? I'm going, what in the world? Now, keep in mind, this is everybody's character introduction. So as this is going on, Kevin has his introduction, and he's playing a video game with the girl. I cannot remember her name, but that's the girl who he let basically come stay with him because he found her and she introduced him to the video games. So they over there playing video games, and Drake comes upstairs and was like, look, y'all late for school. Y'all always late for school. You got to get out of here. But Kevin had the doggone hide the fact that he was smoking a vape pen and was holding the smoke in the whole time and damn near choked to death. So that's his introduction. Vic, Jake, and Rashad are in the kitchen and they praying over the food. Imani is missing. And we all know that. I don't know if everybody knows, but Imani is missing because they said, for some odd reason, I don't know why, but she's not going to be on this season, period. So that would explain why she's not around the table with them praying. Because remember, Imani was okay with Rashad coming to stay there, even though he did all that dirty stuff. So that's why Imani is not there. On the flip side, Jada is in bed with her young dude, but she's in deep thought. You know, she's in there with her young bull. You know, she's trying to, you know, Sway is his name. She's thinking about a lot. And in my mind, I'm like, Jada, you still messing with that young man? Leave him alone. I'm just saying. So we flips back, child. Emmett is still in the bed, and him and Keisha is going 90 going west in the bed. And then all of a sudden, Tiff walks in the door, and it's a dream. It was a whole goddamn dream. And Tiff walks in and say, look, baby, me and my baby about to go by my mama. Me and EJ, I'm taking him and we gone. And Emmett was like, no, please, I don't want you to go. Like, let's talk about it. And she was just like, I just need some time. I gotta go. And she's like, I hope whatever you was dreaming about was me. Because his thing was at attention, okay? I mean, and so I'm like, damn it, Emmett, you be cheating in your sleep? Like, Jesus Christ, you such a cheater. You just like your dad. We move to the next scene. Jake and Gemma, Kevin, Papa, the girl, I can't remember her name, y'all forgive me. They all in the car and they dropping Gemma off. Well, Gemma's gonna get out the car and Jake asked her if she's still gonna come to his basketball tryouts because he's trying out for varsity. But it slipped her mind. She was just like, oh snap, I completely forgot. But you know, I'll try to make it. And he goes, I've been talking to you about this for weeks. Like, why are you just like, why don't you remember? So Jake has this horrible attitude. Like, he's just like, you know what, girl, you just doing too much. Like, you my girl, you supposed to be there for me, you know, that type of thing. But Gemma was like, she's gonna try to make it. Now in the back seat, Kevin gets out and get into the front. And when he gets up front, Papa is talking to the girl who I can't remember her name, y'all. Forgive me. It's gonna come to me. But he's talking to her and was like, oh, I see how you and my homeboy, y'all like brothers and sisters, right? So I'm like, Papa, is you shooting your shot? Because she do look like Maisha. She looks just like Maisha. But you know what? I don't know if she really a dig Papa like that. Papa, I don't know. You never know. Because she kind of like closed off. You never know. So we move to the next scene. Tracy is breaking up a fight between the two kids. What is his name? Bagari, the kid who shot and killed Ronnie. She's trying to break up this fight, and then all of a sudden Rashad and Trig comes in, and Trig them break up the fight. Now they break up the fight and pull the kids to the back, and Tracy was just like, this is out of hand. Like, y'all doing too much. And then Trig was like, I want them two to go and come back and volunteer. Because Rashad was like, y'all both bitch ass niggas and y'all can't fight. So I don't understand why y'all fighting. Y'all need to make up and try to get right with this. But Bagari I can't pronounce his name, but he's basically not trying to hear none of that. He was like, I ain't scared of none of you old ass niggas. And like Rashad said, like Rashad was like, bruh, like you ain't gotta be scared. But y'all little new niggas, y'all don't really understand how it is out here in these streets. Y'all ain't fit for this shit. So they end up leaving because Trig made them apologize to each other and told them that he wants them to be at the doggone center to volunteer. Like, y'all want something to do, we'll give y'all something to do. Come down here and volunteer. Bagari ain't trying to hear all that. Bagari, I'm gonna call him B. B ain't trying to hear all that, girl. He was just like, man, I ain't doing a damn thing. But when they leave out, Tracy was like, look, you can't save them all. And Rashad was like, I used to be him. I can actually talk to him and kind of get some sense into him. They're still kids, basically. And she goes, no, he's the one who actually shot and killed Ronnie. I know it was. She went into detail about how she looked up and saw it with him, you know, and she was just like, he can't be saved. But Trig and Rashad was like, nah, let us talk to him, let us deal with him and give him a chance. She ain't trying to hear. She walks out the doggone office. We move to the next scene. Tiffany shows up to her mama house with her baby. The mama opened the door and said, you got too many bags to say you was only coming here for a few nights. What is going on? I told you this open marriage shit wasn't going to work, and here you go. And Tiffany was just like, girl, man, just let me in, girl. Come on. So Tiffany goes inside, and the mama was just like, look, the baby out here with no coat, he going to catch pneumonia and die. And Tiffany was like, I don't like that. You know, power of the tongue, don't talk like that. And the mama said, what you not going to do is talk to me or tell me how to talk in my house. So now Tiffany is in a situation where she got to go back to her mom's house, and her mom is not going to be told what to do and what she can and can't do. Actually, it's going to be the opposite. The mama going to be telling you what you can and can't do. So Tiffany goes upstairs. She's got that B2K poster, which is super funny because the verses just happened. And that was a shitty mess, child. I might do a video on that. But she's got the B2K poster up there, girl. And the mama called her from upstairs to come find the remote. To come bring her the remote. Girl, Tiffany was like, Ma, you already downstairs. Like, the remote is downstairs with you. She was like, girl, don't answer me back. Come get this damn remote and bring it up to me. Girl, we move to the next scene. Nina and Dre is in the kitchen. And Dre is just like gushing over Nina. And she's just like, you know, I love you, babe. And she was just like, oh, I love you too. Well, then down comes Keisha. Keisha comes down, and she's preparing to go look at some dorms. She want a new start. Her and her baby, she want to move out of that house. She want a fresh look at everything, fresh start. She wants to get out of that. Nina's not really with it. Nina was just like, she's afraid for her. Drake was like, girl, look, them dorms safer than the hood, especially in Chicago, is. But she was just like, girl, let the girl go. And Nina feels like they trying to jump on her, you know, and trying to, like, you know, be 2-on-1. And like Keisha said, it's not about that. I just need a fresh start. I need to get out of here. I need me and my baby to develop our own relationship. Like, I just need to leave. Like, and at this point, I get Nina's concern given all that Keisha's going through. But I feel like, you know, she's got to let her go. Like, she's a young lady now. She has a kid. She's got to find her own way. But Dre feels like it's a good idea, and the mama really not trying to hear it. On the next scene, Emmett is at his daddy's house. Now, he at his daddy's house telling Darnell that Tiffany done left him. Darnell was like, good. You need to leave her alone anyway, shit. Yeah, that shit is over and done with. Y'all need to move on. But Emmett ain't trying to hear that. Emmett was trying to figure out why, you know, how he can get her back. And the pop was like, Darnell was like, you don't need to get her back. You need to move forward and find something else. Darnell was like, look, the girl don't want you, bro. She just don't want you, and you got to come to terms with that. And he was like, yes, she do. And he was like, well, if she wants you, where she at? And he was like, oh, she by her mama. Exactly. So now, Emmett goes on to say, look, I was doing everything. I was cooking. I was cleaning. I was taking the kids, the baby to school, EJ. I was doing all this stuff. And Pops was like, you should have been doing that. And Emmett was like, nigga, you the last person. He was like, exactly. That's how I know. So Pops was like, man, look, why don't you just have a drink with me? Darnell was like, you know, just come on, drink some of this Hennessy with me. And Emmett was like, nah, I don't really do no Hennessy because that shit make me emotional. Pops was like, man, stop being a little biatch and have this drink. So they end up having a drink. The next scene, Vic and Rashad go looking for engagement rings because Trig is ready to propose to Imani. Now we know it can't happen because Imani not even gonna be on the doggone show this season. So Trick is out there looking at rings, and Rashad was just like, bro, like, I'm really proud of you. Like, you really like a grown-ass man out here in these streets. I never would have thought you would be even looking at rings because how we was growing up. And Trick was like, man, look, I used to be chilling. And Rashad was like, man, all the girls wanted to give you some sloppy toppy, and you ain't never want to let none of them. So the fact that you done found one and you settling down, shout out to you. But Trick was like, man, I wasn't even on that type of time. I was on some other stuff. So then as Trig is signing for the ring, trying to get the ring, or he's getting the ring for that matter, Rashad asked him who he thought about to be his best man. And he was like, you know what? I didn't even think about it. And Rashad was like, bruh, duh. He was like, Imani's a good girl. Like, that girl let me move in her house even after I, had said them mean things to her. Like, she's really a good chick. Like, I think that, y'all gonna do extremely well together, and I want to be a part of it. I love Rashad's character is becoming a model citizen. Like, he's not out of jail on that BS. Because, that's typically what happens. But Rashad's character is evolving, and I'm here for it. I'm here for Rashad's character. I'm here for everybody's character, really. But Rashad is the one that's surprising me most. So he wants to be his best man, and I'm really sure that that's probably the direction Trig is going to go. So now we move to the next scene, girl. Emmett and his pops is back at the house drunk. Emmett is through. He gets in his feelings and decides he got to go profess his love to Tiffany. So he tries to leave out the house, or he's leaving out the house. And Darnell was like, boy, you need to go sit your ass down. Go lay down. Go lay. Go take a nap. That's what you need to be doing. But nope. Emmett got to go down there and be emotional. So he finally gets to Tiffany mama house, girl, throwing up all in the yard. The mama opened the door and said, what the hell are you doing? That is disgusting. He was like, man, shut up, just call Tiff. Tiff come outside. Tiff was like, boy, come back in this house and we can have a conversation. And he's over there telling Tiff, look, girl, I miss you. Why don't you just come home? And Tiff was like, you've been drinking. You've been on that Hennessy because that shit make you emotional. He was like, see, you know me. We belong together. We belong together. Come on, let's get back together. But Tiffany was like, after thinking about it, I just don't want to be your wife no more. Like, she was just flat out like, I don't want to be with you no more. And this is messing with Emmett's head. Like, he's like, for real, man? And she's just like, yeah, I'm straight on you, fat. Yeah, he ended up leaving and going on by this business, but that's what he needed to hear, if you ask me. We move to the next scene. Jada and her young bull, Sway, is at the house, and Sway wants to move in. Sway was like, look, girl, I be around here doing all this stuff for you. I'm really feeling you. I'm trying to live with you. Like, why can't we move in? And she was like, I don't really want to rock the boat. Everything is going so well. I don't think that's something we need to be doing right now. He need a place to stay. See, that's why I don't deal with young men. And that's why I recommend no woman do, because see, they be looking for a mama. No, don't let him move in. I'm sorry, don't let him move in. So she was like, look, let me go think about it. Let me get in the shower and think about it. And he was just like, oh, the shower head broke. And she was like, I thought you fixed it. He said, if I lived here, I would have fixed it. But since I don't live here, no. And I'm just like, oh, he petty. So she had to go take a hot bath. We move to the next scene. Tiffany is over there by Keisha. And she lets Keisha know that her and Emmett is done. And Keisha was in the middle of texting Christian and was just like, oh, for real? And Tiffany was like, yeah, we're done. She was like, you think that's bad? And Keisha was like, I mean, if that's how you feel and that's your truth, then no, it's not bad. So she's over there texting Christian. And the meanwhile, Tiffany's over there texting Rob. And they both texting each other, or texting they prospective little boos. Now, Christian is asking Keisha, could he come with her to look for the dorms? And she's kind of like, no, I kind of want to do it on my own. But Rob is over there flirting with Tiff, basically like, what's up, boo? What's up? Let me come scoop you, or whatever the case may be. So now when they put the phones down, Tiffany asked Keisha, she was just like, girl, so who you over there texting? And she was like, oh, girl, it's Christian. And Tiffany immediately was like, he kind of weird. And she was like, why? Because he's nice. Like, just because he's nice. Black women, we are so, like, programmed to feel like if a man is nice to us, he's being weird. And I'm guilty of it, too. So, yeah, I'm not putting it on everybody else. But, Keisha was like, girl, he's just really a genuinely good guy. That's just basically all it is. It ain't that big of a deal. But she asked Keisha why she hadn't locked him down like why y'all not a thing. And Keisha was just like, what, with my baby and trying to find my own path, I just don't think I'm ready to juggle all that right now. But they go to look at the dorms. We move to the next scene. Girl, Jake is down there at the tryouts and Jake is trashed. Maisha was in the stands like, this dude is horrible. He's trash. He's disgusting. What in the entire hell? The whole crew is looking like, what in the world? Girl, he missing layups. He getting pushed down on the ground. He falling on the ground. It was just disgusting. Well, he goes up to the coach, and the coach was like, "Fat, it ain't gonna work out. You're not gonna make the team." And as this is happening, Gemma finally walks in with a doggone cookie cake or something, and then he storms off. So she runs behind him and was like, "Oh my God, you know, are you okay? You don't have to take the basketball route. You know, as black men, you could do something else." And he was like, "I don't have options like you have. And anyway, where were you?" And she was like, "I got here as soon as I can." He ain't trying to hear. He was just like, "Girl, get out my face," and walks off. And I'm like, Jake got a really nasty attitude. Jimmy, you could do better than Jake. And you know what? That's what you get for sleeping with Kevin's friend. But you could have done way better than him. We move to the next scene. Emmett is in the house singing Carl Thomas. He wish he never met Tiffany. And Trey walks in. And was just like, "Bro, you good?" And then Emmett was like, "Man, she left me, bro. She gone by her mama." And so Trey was like, "Come on, man, you need a hug." And so he give him a hug and was just like, "It's gonna be all right, bro." But he's over there trying to figure out if it's still on for him to use the place so that he can propose to Imani. And so Emmett was like, yeah, no, it slipped my mind, but we good. Everything will still be on for that. So they got all that situated. Once all that situated, they walk up to the front of the store, and the boy Bagari or B, whatever his name is, he doggone throws a brick through Trig's Land Rover window. So now Trig run behind him and beat the shit out of him. And I was like, why the hell would you do that? Like, and start beating him. But the crap is, the game is, his homeboy is over there filming it. So they basically set him up. They wanted him to look like he wasn't a model citizen and he was beating up a little kid so that it can go viral and people can stop really dealing with him. I was just like, you kind of did fall for the bait, Trig. You did. So once he see the camera, he just walks away and was just like, man, y'all on some bull crap. You kind of fell for it. Papa, Jake, and Kevin is in there playing video games, and Papa asked Jake if he knew he was trash. Papa was like, "Bro, why would you get us all the way down there to try out for this doggone team, and you knew you was trash? What you thought just because you was a black dude from Chicago, like you was just automatically gonna make it?" And Jake was just like, "Man, fucking, I don't know. I just was like trying out." So then that brings Papa on to say, "Well, look, see, the problem you having is you not being outward with your thoughts. And if you listen to my podcast, then my podcast could have helped you and you would have knew because you would have heard it on my podcast." And then Jake was like, "Man, F that podcast. Ain't nobody trying to hear all that. Oh, hell, Kevin is on the floor, playing the video game, telling both of them to shut the hell up. That podcast trash. I don't want to hear it." But Papa was like, "Man, that's what's wrong with y'all. Y'all feel like nobody can't tell y'all nothing. Y'all need to be tuning into the podcast." He's really pushing this doggone podcast. So Kevin said, "Tell both of them to shut the hell up." We move to the next scene. Keisha is breaking up with Christian over a voice note. She sent him a voice note and said, "Listen, I apologize, but you've been so great to me. You've really shown me a lot. You've been there for me and my son, but I really need to focus on me building a relationship with my son. I want you to hear how I sound so you know it's coming from a sincere place. It's nothing malicious. Like, I'm just letting you know that basically I gotta move on." So she sends him the voice clip. I'm like, man, that's so bad. I feel like he's gonna be the one that got away. That's just my opinion. I feel like he's gonna be her one that got away. Tiff comes in and she's texting, and her mama was like, "Look, girl, I ain't no babysitter. I don't know where you was, but you need to be up in here getting this damn baby. I am not your babysitter." And then Rob called her on the FaceTime, and she walks away, and the mom was like, "Who that is calling you on FaceTime?" Girl, the mama is all in her business, making it super uncomfortable for her to be there. So she goes upstairs, and Rob was just like, "Man, your mama crazy. You know you could come stay here." And she was like, "I know, but I got my baby. Like, it's not just me." But Rob was like, "Man, I don't care. Both of y'all can come stay here. Like, you ain't got to sit there and take that." Girl, the mama's still downstairs talking crazy to her, and she's got to consider that. Because the mama asking her to go to the store and running errands and all type of stuff. We move to the next scene. Sway apologizes to Jada for being pushy earlier. He was like, I was being real pushy. I apologize, And she was just like, no, you weren't being pushy. You was just asking for what you wanted. But, I really decided that I like my privacy. I like being by myself. I really don't care for, to have somebody move in. He was like, so you just want me to be your do-boy? You want me to be the person to do all your little stuff around the house, but you don't want me to move in? I'm out of here. And so now Jada's sitting there looking like another one bites the dust. As you should. There ain't nobody worried about that. So after that happened, Rashad wakes up Trig to a doggone video. The video of him beating doggone Bagari up and beat his ass. And now he's gone viral. All the people in the city of Chicago, has gone against Trig now. Everybody was like, he wrong, he a grown man beating on this young child. Trig was like, man, what the hell, man? This is some bull crap. And Rashad was like, why the hell would you do this? And he was like, man, this dude threw a brick in my car. He tried to make it set up like I just like beat on him, but that wasn't the case. So Rashad was like, man, get dressed. We got to go find these little dudes so we can talk to him. I feel like we could really get in his head. We move to the next scene. Gemma is in bed and her dad comes in and asks her why she ain't going to school. She said she's taking a mental health day. Girl, I wish I could have told my mama that. But anyway, he sits down and asks her what's going on. She don't really want to talk about it. But the daddy was like, look, girl, I want you and I to have an actual bond. Like, I want you to be able to talk to me. He in there limping because, he got his ass beat real bad by dude the last season. But he was like, I want us to have an actual relationship. I want you to come home from school for Christmas and college so that we, and really mean it, like really want to be here. So it helps her open up. And she said, sometimes I really feel like, I made I made a mistake by leaving Kevin for Jake. She was like, because Jake has been a real dick, like, this whole time. Like, he's been real nasty to me, and I really don't appreciate it. The daddy was like, you gotta teach people how to treat you. So maybe if you just took a step back and, y'all took a break, he'll come back if it's real. She was like, well, what if it don't? He was like, well, it is what it is. But sometimes you gotta put some distance between you and another person so they can understand what they can and can't do. So she's wondering about it, but she was just like, she's going to take his advice and, time will tell what's going to happen. We move to the next scene. Girl, Papa is hosting a basketball introduction. He's introducing the doggone varsity team. And Papa gets up there on the mic and was like, we need to take a moment of silence for my friend, my homeboy Jake. And it was like, what? He was like, he ain't dead, but his basketball career is child. He went into talking about how Jake was so horrible at the tryouts. He was falling and nobody was pushing him. And then told Jake, maybe if you had a male role model, things would be better for you. Jake gets up and holler, boy, bye. Your daddy ain't crap. And then Papa was like, at least I have a daddy. And then that goes on into them getting back into it, going back and forth. And then Papa made a blanket statement to the whole audience. It was like, that's what's wrong with all y'all. All y'all need pops. All y'all need fathers in the home. That's what's wrong with the community. And girl, they start throwing stuff at him, booing them. The lady done kicked him off the doggone stage. Papa, you done blew your chance. You doing too much now, Papa. I get you on a doggone, speak your mind, but you doing too much. We move to the next scene. Rashad and Trig pull up on Bagari and was like, bruh, why the fuck you make that video go viral? Why you set me up like that? And he was just, you took the bait. So it is what it is. And then Trig offers him a job. Trig was like, do you bored or something? Y'all niggas need money? Like, I'll give you a job if that's the case. You need a job. And Bagari was like, I don't need nothing from you. I don't need nothing. I'm good. Like, we good over here. And so basically, he feels like he don't want a regular job. Rashad gets up and was like, look, bro, I used to be you. I understand how it is to be you. And Bagari was like, you don't understand nothing about how it is to be me. And that makes Trig jump in and say, I understand how it is to take a life. I know what that feel like. And you can smoke up all that little reefer all you want, but it ain't going to cover up the fact that you still going to have to sit in that. Like, you never going to get over that. Period. So he was like, make sure your ass is down there in the morning. And if I got to come find you, I'm coming to find you. So now he's basically pushing him to go down there to the doggone thing. I'm hoping that his character turns around to be a good person. That's really my hope for this thing. For him. Because he seems like he's just lost. We move to the next scene. Girl, Darnell down there fixing Jada doggone shower head. And he's asking her, is there anything else I could fix? And she was like, is there anything else you can fix? Girl, they go to making out. And she was just like, you know what? We can't do this. He was just like, shit, me, we can. She was like, no, we can't. We both got somebody we with. He was like, fuck them kids. I will call Dime right now and tell her it is over. And she was just like, no, that's not going to be right. We can't do it. And he was like, listen, girl, you the one that got away. You the one that got away. Like, no, I want to be with you. But, Jada was like, nah. I think Jada kind of is in the middle of wanting to have somebody, but not really wanting to have somebody. And she not really sure what it is she want to do for real, for real. So I really think that's the issue going on with her. But I also think that there is something there for Darnell. Like, obviously, that's just how I feel. But we move to the next scene. Kevin and old girl who played the video games, girl, I can't remember her name. They're going on there to the video game place. So he goes play these video games with these white dudes. I want to say they were kind of like teasing him a little bit, but he ended up beating the dudes. Like, they playing like this lame ass, like, I don't know if it's like Call of Duty or something, you know, where they be shooting everybody or whatever, but he ended up beating the dude. So now he's actually doing well with the video games. I think he's gonna make this a big thing for him. I think this is gonna be one of his career paths, so it's not something he really takes seriously, because he actually beat their asses. We move to the next scene. Trig down at the restaurant with Emmett. Emmett is like preparing him for when Imani walk in and was like, bro, just keep it short. She already know you love her and all that stuff. You ain't gotta say all that. Keep it short. Trig is super nervous. He was just like, man, thank you for being here for me, bro. You really ain't had to do that. And Emmett was like, look, hopefully it's only once, because divorce is hard. Emmett, you ain't even had to divorce yet. Boy, sit down. We move to the next scene. Keisha finally gets texted back from Christian. Christian basically says, I had took some time because I needed to process everything. And what I will say is, I appreciate you for handling my feelings with care. He was like, you know, as a good guy who's a black man, it's very hard for us a lot of times, because people always think there's an ulterior motive when there really isn't. We just care about people. And he basically wished her luck and told her to kiss the baby, and was like, he understood her path that she has to take. And he was just like, hey, you know, hopefully, you know, we could be friends, but, you know, I get it. Good luck on your journey. And basically the next good guy you find, hopefully you give him a chance and know that there are still just genuinely good people in the world. That made her smile. I wish Keisha would have given him a chance. I think he was so good for her. He was so supportive and so sweet. Like, I really wish she would have gave him a chance. I'm sorry. We move to the next scene, girl. Tiffany pulls up at the house, at Rob's house with her baby. And she walks in and Rob was like, you know, welcome. And she was like, look, we're not going to be here too long. And he was like, man, y'all can stay as long as you want. He even dapped up the little EJ. And I'm like, girl, you better be there by your mom. Girl, you crazy. We move to the next scene. Jake and Rashad is decorating the chicken spot or the barbecue spot, because they're waiting on Imani to come in. Rashad is super nervous because he wants everything to go well for his little partner, as he should. It's time for Imani to walk in. So when Imani's getting ready to walk in, Trig gets on one knee with the ring, and it turns out it's not Imani at all. It's one of her friends saying, Imani says she saw the video of you beating up that kid, and she needs time. She don't think that this is going to be, you know, work out right now. She just needs some time away. And you know, that's very reminiscent of Imani. She really is like that. She's a righteous person, to do the right thing type of person. So I could have very well seen her doing this. Honestly, when the video went viral, the first thing I thought was, what is Imani gonna say when she see it? So basically, left poor Trig there to just pick up his pieces and his knee off the floor. This ain't no Brad and Judy. Get up off the floor. But I love that Rashad came over there and was trying to console him and was like, come on, bro. Like, it's all cool. It'll happen at a later date. Like, let's just, you know, have fun and have, you know, and party and turn the music up. But Trig was like, man, ain't nothing to celebrate no more. And Rashad was like, no, that is, bro. You a good dude. You gonna get through this. She gonna come around. Like, he's really being supportive. I'm so here for that. I love that. I love that Rashad's character has evolved the way it has. We move to the final scene, girl. Tracy's in there watching, waiting to exhale, and she gets a knock at the door. Well, who the hell is that? Quentin, her baby daddy. OG Quentin, OGQ, whatever it is you want to call him. And she was like, what the hell are you doing here? And he said, I came back to finish what I started. And then all of a sudden appears Duda. And Duda was like, hey. And she was like, well, what the hell are you doing here? And he was like, I came back for you. Now, this is my thing. You got your baby daddy and your new man at the door trying to get with you? Or they both there trying to... What is going on? That was weird, but I'm so interested to see what's going to happen. I love the fact that OG Quentin is back, because when they did the trailers for what's coming up, he told one of them kids he the boogeyman, or one of them dudes. I think Quentin coming back to cut up. He coming back to cut up, and I feel like when he find out what happened to their son, it's gonna be problems. Now, I guess him and Duda done talked it out, and he was like, it's cool, you could be with my baby mama, because that was awkward, but they is back. That's where the episode ended, girl. It was a great opening. It was a great opening. It leaves everybody on their seats to figure out, or try to figure out what's to come, basically. But y'all drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all thought about this episode of The Chi, Season 5, Episode 1. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you hoes later. Bye.